Hi, my name is Feroz Abbas Khan and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Well, history is being recreated in Mumbai, in India, very soon, because it's not. We're talking about theatre right now, and but it is originating from cinema, which was actually was theatre even before that. We're talking about Mughal-E-Azam, the epic film that is being recreated into a Broadway sort of musical by Feroz Abbas, and it's being called the most expensive theatre production ever in Indian history. And it's lavishly mounted, and we'll a lot of mystery around the star cast, who's playing Dilip Kumar and Madhubala, and the other iconic characters. We'll find out more about that and much more from Feroz Abbas himself. So huge pleasure to have you on Bollywood Hungama, first of all.
My pleasure.
And it must have been a Herculean task for you, first of all, to just set up this entire production together, and then you have this monumental burden to carry, that you'll be compared with the original, which is like a masterpiece that everyone remembers and loves like anything.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I thought that if there could be any musical play that India should do, right, it should be its own original source. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, what better play to do than do a version of Mughal-E-Azam, because it's huge, it's grand, it's very theatrical, right, its roots are in theatre. It's got terrific story, great dialogue writing, terrific structure of the play, what you call a screenplay, but a play, as I would call it now, and great characters, and something, particularly the music, with which the generations of Indians have listened to them, inspired by them, and have actually carried forward to the next generation.
Right.
So I thought that kind of familiarity with the subject, that kind of emotional connect with the subject, would make it slightly easier for me to do a play which would immediately have a context with the audience. And so I decided that, let's do Mughal-E-Azam. But of course, it's wishful thinking. You can wish for a lot of things, but they need to be realized. And I think that's where you need people who will realize that dream. And that's where the National Center for the Performing Arts and Shapurji Palanji,
the original producers of
Mughal-E-Azam, yeah, they got very excited, and they said, we'll produce the play. And so that's how it really finally took shape. And then I got some of the finest talent, and I call them my collaborators. Manish Malhotra is doing
for the dresses, costumes.
Then Mayuri Upadhyay, an outstanding choreographer. And then you have three of the set designer, Neil Patel. He is from New York, works on Broadway, and a winner of many awards. And he also did the production design for Dil Dhadakne De, amongst many things that he has done. Then there is John Narron, who is an Emmy Award nominee for some outstanding projection work, because we're using a lot of technology also. And a lighting designer who is again a Tony Award nominee a couple of times for his lighting design from Broadway. So I've got a whole wonderful team together. Rapid Waters are the people who are handling the production, and so on and so forth. So I think I've been very fortunate to have a wonderful bunch of collaborators to realize the dream of making Mughal-E-Azam. It is intimidating because you would be willy-nilly compared to the original.
Sure.
But I think what we are doing is creating a new theatre experience of the same story. And of course it's Mughal-E-Azam in every which way, but it is in a different medium, and that's theatre. It's live. The actors,
they'll be singing it live.
Anarkali, Bahar, they'll be singing live. So it is in that sense a pure theatrical musical.
So who's playing Anarkali and Salim?
You see, you have to understand that when we do plays, we don't have one actor doing it. We have to have double casting. So we've got, for every major characters, we've got double casting.
Okay.
So it won't be just one person playing it. So sometimes one person will play, sometimes the other person will play. So that's it. Yes, that's how it's going to be. So you might see two different Anarkalis at.
But I'm sure that you must be having at least some you must have finalized, someone you must be.
Well, they are there, but it's unfair to just name one person, not the other, and so we would like to keep that something that you must come and experience the play, and with them, their talent as you watch the play. So that's how it is. But yes,
But don't you
very
find,
talented.
don't you think that it'll be slightly it's like a double-edged sword in a way, because people start associating characters with actors as well. Like you've had like a Tumhari Amrita, you've had Shabana Azmi just doing it for you for the longest period of time. So do you have that apprehension?
You see, it's like this, that theatre is very different than film. Theatre, the play the content of the play is what drives people to come to watch a play. It's like Tumhari Amrita. People may have come with Shabana Azmi and Farooq Sheikh, but they went down with the play. They didn't go out only with Shabana and Farooq. If that had happened, then the play would have collapsed. So you would have had the novelty value of just watching them and then gone back. There are plays that are done which have stars, so people come to watch them and thereafter they go away and the play collapses after that.
Sure.
A play is something, and there are many of those plays like of the kind that I have done, but I have done plays which don't have anybody as such. Yet those are extremely powerful theatre experiences. And I think in this play, it is Mughal-E-Azam. Nothing can be bigger than Mughal-E-Azam.
No, absolutely. So you're brilliant at just skirting away from the answer that we're looking for in terms of the names. But still, are these actors primarily Salim and Anarkili? Will they be like new actors? Will they be like experienced actors?
They are theatre experienced actors from theatre.
They're not from film?
Not at all. It doesn't make, look, can there be Madhubala? No. Can there be another Dilip Kumar? No. Can there be Prithviraj Kapoor? No. And to take any film actor, the question I have, why do I need a film actor?
Okay.
Because first of all, a film actor cannot be, anyone that you take is not going to be either Madhubala, Dilip Kumar or Prithviraj Kapoor. Anybody you take less than that will bring down the film. So why take that? And I'm not doing the film, I'm doing a play.
Okay.
They are theatre actors, and also you have to understand one thing, is that from theatre to film is a natural journey. They have to adjust to a new medium. But from film to theatre is a very difficult journey.
Sure,
almost impossible for a lot of people. And the kind of commitment that you need to do theatre, you have 3 or 4 months of rehearsals, then you have long runs of the shows, and there's a huge discipline. Our discipline is, if you come 5 minutes late, you're out. You don't enter the rehearsal space.
Right.
And you don't go out till we've actually told you, that's the way to go. The theatre discipline is something, and some of the, film actors have tried that and they have been exhausted because they it's a very different culture.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and we are not oriented to it. For us, the star is Mughal-E-Azam.
Absolutely. In fact, Nasruddin Shah Sahib, he says it all the time that the amount of satisfaction that he gets doing theatre is something that films, he makes fun of films all the time. The entire experience of filming is something that he makes fun of all the time. The idea of films in many cases as well.
I'm not in any way trying to say that.
In terms of as a pure, mediums, more pure form of art is something that's what Nasir Saab says.
Yeah. Well, it's for an actor, theatre would always be an extremely powerful medium because theatre is an actor's medium.
Sure.
Film is a director's medium and television is a writer's medium. So each medium have got its own very special quality. Right. So I'm not trying to say that medium is good or bad, but for this particular play, I would say a film actor would get exhausted trying to rehearse the way we are doing. And we're creating a completely new experience. That is a new theatre music and a live theatre. And in that you have live singing. So all those requirements are not something that you can find.
And these actors, they have to be good singers as well.
And they have to be good singers, and also the kind of commitment that you get. And also today with the film actor has got such huge opportunities to make the kind of money which you can't get in theatre.
Absolutely.
No matter what, it's not possible.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of hard work and being paid very little, but you're paid in dollops as long as satisfaction is concerned.
Great. Now let's just find out a few facts about this play, because it's the first. In fact, staging will be on October 21st here in Mumbai, and it will be running for around 10 days still, and then it's going to Delhi after that. And there are plans of taking it abroad and various other countries as well. Now, one of the important questions will be that who's doing the music for you?
But the music is the same music. We recreated the music.
So who's helping you?
Piyush Kanodia, and of course it's a completely original background score. But the songs, we've retained 6 songs from the original, and we've added 2 more.
Your own?
Two original things that you will hear. That's right, yeah. So there are two
Okay.
original songs that have been.
They've been composed by Piyush Kanerji.
Well, they are our traditional songs.
Okay.
It's traditional songs. So it's not. I mean, yes, recreated, but they are again coming from traditional sources. So those are the things. So six.
Who's written them?
Well, they are all original
Traditional,
kalam.
folks.
They are all traditional kalam. So folk and Sufi. So we've taken from that. Piyush Kanerji has recreated. It's 6 songs have been there retained from the original film, and so you'll have bigger sound. So the music is much more bigger because in those days you could play on mono sound. Now you got the facilities, and theatre has far more kind of those.
No, absolutely. But Feroz Saab, once again, I'd come to the comparisons part. Pyar kiya to darna kya. The entire Lata Mangeshkar magic, people will surely compare that.
I think
and the choreography as well.
That's right. So I think those
We'll
comparisons.
come to the Sheesh Mahal very soon as well. That Sheesh Mahal is happening as well. So we'll come to that soon.
Yes, of course. Comparisons are. I have to accept that, but I have to also internalize it. That's going to happen. So there are going to be brickbats, and there are going to be perhaps some bouquets too.
No, but many would say that maybe you are the ideal person for helping something like this, because you have a tremendous respect as a theatre personality within Mumbai, or anyone who knows theatre in India. They have a tremendous respect for you with the sort of work that you've done. So as far as that thing is concerned, many of us are convinced that कुछ भी अगर होगा definitely देखने के लिए आने के life तो definitely कुछ ना कुछ होगा, because Feroz Abbas is helming the entire. But yes, comparisons is something that.
Yeah, they will. I mean, I have to be. You see, you can't do anything about it.
Right.
It's so big. Mughal-E-Azam is such a huge imagination, and that's so much part of a memory. It's a kind of a legacy, So one has to be prepared for all that is going to come to you. But I can't be bogged down by that. Once you have taken the decision to do it, now you just go and do the best you can. I mean, I'm going to just go ahead and put my best foot forward. That's it.
The movie was over 3 hours. This one is going to be 2 hours 20 minutes, I believe.
2 hours 15 minutes. Yeah.
2 hours 15 minutes. So, and you're packing in almost everything in that. So
that's right.
How tough was it to just? I'm sure that you must be having a screenplay of what they say in movies, in terms of a certain narrative that you must be having, that how you'll be just taking the story forward, starting and where you're going to be ending.
That's right.
Then in the movie, obviously, initially I think it was a play that was made into 3 movies so far have been made on Mughal-E-Azam.
Or on Anarkali.
On Anarkali.
Anarkali was original play.
Anarkali was
on
original
which there
play.
was an Anarkali in 1928.
Correct.
Then it was again in the 50s with Dilip Kumar.
Right.
And then
Mughal-E-Azam.
of course Mughal-E-Azam.
Mughal-E-Azam
But Mughal-E-Azam is very different than the play. It's very, very different.
Sure.
You could say it's inspired from that.
Sure, but now when you are getting inspired from the movie, and now you have the luxury to just K. Asif Saab made it in a span of 10 years, and now you're having like a few months to just get it all together. In a movie, they must have shot it at various times, and black and white color and all those facilities were there. But here people will be having these speculations that how you must be, how many changes are you having in terms of the sets, and so
right.
Would you like to say something about that?
Yeah, it's going to be a visually quite a stunning experience for the audience.
Right.
You'll see a lot of sets. I'm using a lot of technology also.
Right.
So that you'll have a lot of changes in sets, in costumes, and choreography. All that is there. All that Mughal-E-Azam is. I'm paying a tribute to the original.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm also very respectful of the memories of people. So I don't want to go completely to say, look, you know what, watch me. No. It's watch that film, watch that great work that K. Asif has done. I mean, all the work has been done by K. Asif, so it makes it easier for me. So the original creator happens to be still the creator of that work. All right, I'm just taking it forward in a different medium, that's all. So it continues to remain K. Asif's work, which is monumental. And so I thought that time has passed. Making the film would be quite, to me, I just can't even think about making a film of that. And a lot of people have already taken so many parts of the film and put it in their movies.
Right.
And they have done that. They've cut and pasted so many scenes. Some of the films almost look like, well, it is Mughal-E-Azam in some other names. So that already has happened. Also, you have to understand that what is happening with Mughal-E-Azam a period of time with the younger generation, there are a lot of parodies of Mughal-E-Azam. People have a lot of parodies and they, all that. But I think the story is very powerful. So I'm just taking that and taking deft That is the reason I'm taking it into a different medium. So you have the same story, but it's not the same again. It's very different.
Correct.
But at the same time, all the things in terms of the settings and so on and so forth, whatever is possible theatrically, it's going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, including Sheesh Mahal.
Including Sheesh Mahal. And I have a feeling that I think the technology that you're talking about, maybe I think you'll be utilizing that for Sheesh Mahal as well. Because in terms of creating that illusion.
For the most of it, yeah. For the most of it. It's going to be done to understand in a very artistic way. It has to be done in you to understand that I've just got a frame in which I have to do. Maybe a stage of 60 feet by 50 feet of stage, in which I have to create all this world within that space.
Sure.
But theatre has this wonderful quality that I may have a closed space, but its imagination is very big. So you can open up your mind to so many things. The audience understands a lot of things when they see on stage, and they add a lot of their own imagination. However, you will see a lot of that was there in terms of sets, whatever is possible,
right.
but in a more theatrical language.
In a more theatrical manner. Okay, and so will there be any section that you'll be giving credits to the original writers?
It will be there. In fact, if you see my first ad, it's come. K.R. Sif's timeless musical, now a spectacular musical play.
Correct.
There's no question about it. It is
in terms of the writers and other people.
Everything. When you come to the stage, when you come to the theatre, they will all be there. The choreography is very original.
Right.
But the writer, the music, the songwriters, they will all, and of course K.R. Sif Saab, everybody is going to be given credit for that, of course.
Okay, and now you're having people from Broadway who are helping you out, and you told me that you'll be staging it in various parts of other parts of the world as well. Now, do you feel that something like this, when you're having like a regular play, it's fine, it's having certain ethos and certain cultural aspect, but something like this which is so Moulin Rouge actually, so Indian, which something that fascinates the West tremendously about India in terms of the culture and the costumes and the entire musicality and the choreography.
That's right.
Do you think that, and I'm sure that many of the Westerners, they've not seen Mughal-E-Azam, I'm quite sure about that.
Right.
Do you think that it can have like a wonderful, in fact, opportunity, or maybe in terms of presenting something from India on a global stage as far as
I think so. I do believe that this will go much further than anything else that I have done. Though we already have what is called our own audience, which is very huge now all over the world. The Indian diaspora, the Indian audience is very huge. What we're also doing is again using cutting edge technology in terms of translation. So it's not just translation. We actually are going to record the same play in English, and we're creating an app, and you just download that app, and then you are able to hear simultaneously as that is happening
in the
theater itself. So we are working on that technology with which you can put in as many languages. We can put Spanish, we can put French, we can put whatever language we want. You just switch it on, it gets synced with what's happening there, and you have that same language translation, but not like one person speaking. It's like a whole play in that language has also been recorded and put it in the app.
So don't you think it will affect the maybe the rhythm of the play that is going on?
No, it is for people who don't know the language. I'm talking about somewhere somebody is French and they want to hear the dialogue, what is there. It's their option. They can have that option. Translation. Because that's how they would be. But I don't like subtitling, because subtitling during the play would just disturb that immensely. But surely they can hear the version in which
you do have plans of going it like in a big way as far as the
we have huge plans because I think I think India right now is positioned to show its work globally, and I think Mughal-E-Azam fits in that, because a universal story of love. I mean, at the end, what is it? It is like a Romeo and Juliet.
Sure.
Girl and boy in love, and there's an opposition from parents. I mean, there it was two families, here it is basically the king, and at stake is the kingdom. So it's really those classic love stories where at stake something very high, and then two people are not ready to leave each other, and then a huge opposition. So it's a universal story of love, longing, separation, and with that we have a peculiar Indian context of its colors and music and dance.
Absolutely.
And performance. Our performances are going to be very modern in its way. It's going to be more realistic. It's not going to be bombastic. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be the way we speak now.
Yeah,
It's
because
the same
you know, that,
language.
that is my next question, that when it comes to Mughal-E-Azam, you just immediately recall Prithviraj Kapoor Saab's dialogues, and they used to be a bit like theatrical, the way it will happen on stage, and what some would say maybe slightly overacting in a way as well. And then Dilip Kumar's silences, and you know that his profile, and he just thinking about the entire what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, once again, coming to the comparisons part of it, I'm sure that the person who's playing Prithviraj Kapoor will be extremely important.
Yes.
Because that baritone that he had, that एक आवाज में जो वजन जिसको कहते हैं, I'm sure that it will be equally imposing for a person to be having that, because that's something
Yes.
that will drive in a way.
Yeah.
He's the conflict. He's bringing in the conflict between the two
That's,
lovers.
I mean, yes, I have a bunch of very fine actors, and as long as the acting part is concerned, you will be very happy to see what they do.
Okay, so you also said that when you speak about Mughal-E-Azam, you don't talk about costs and budgets. That's what I think a production controller has said with who's involved in the musical. Many actors, they always say that the reason that they go into movies is because of the fact that it offers them good money, and they're not able to do as many justice to theatre as they would want to. We would like to talk about the dynamics as far as the financials are concerned, as far as theatre is concerned, because getting the money back from ticket sales, I think, is not going to be easy for, I think, anyone. I think it's the sponsorship that you guys depend on, and other aspects as well. So would you like to say something about that?
Well, I think the partners I have are two very powerful partners.
Right.
The NCPA and Shapoorji Pallonji.
Right.
So I think they have taken care of the fact that whatever is needed for the production, they have provided. As long as actors are concerned, yes, stars, if you look at them, they actually are paid so much that for them to do a theatre would only be if they want to explore a different medium and explore themselves as actors. Certainly you can never pay that. But it happens even on Broadway. Broadway doesn't pay you that much, but people still get attracted to come back to theatre.
Right.
But that's for you wanting to do theatre. In my case, if you see, I've had some of the finest actors who actually went to cinema but have done theatre. So whether it's, I got Kiran back
Salgira.
in Salgira, Anupam got back with again Salgira, and then Anupam in his worst period had to come back only with theatre, and which I wrote and directed Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta, his autobiography, into a play. So in that case, people like him have actually salvaged their careers doing theatre.
Correct.
So when he was at the height of his career was Salgira, and then Kiran started from there, and when he was just low, at the lowest, Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta Hai became a turning point for him. And in fact, it's Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta Hai is now something is an alternative for him, that he did not even do films. So they have been able to do that. You can see Nasir now doing theatre more than doing films, and it's not that he's not getting paid for that. So is the other people who acted with me, whether it's Shabana, whether it's Farooq Saab, and so on and so forth. But as long as the theatre actors are concerned, pure theatre actors, I think very soon this will become an alternative employment opportunity for them also. Because the kind of money they're getting on television, we can definitely in theatre give them as much and perhaps more.
Acha.
Yeah, of course.
Do you think it's like a recent phenomenon, or it has been?
No. I mean, people are. The only thing is we don't give so many shows. So if the shows increase, and if you are able to, because I know the price at which, I've also done that, and I realize that quite a few of them, if we are able to give them, we have a repertory company, so we have people on monthly salaries, and what can happen is that they can work in the play, and then they can get days off in the daytime. They can actually pursue. They could even do a film, or they could even do television, and then they come in the evening to do play. So this could actually become one more avenue for actors. I'm saying new actors.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not talking about established, but new actors. It could become that. Yeah.
Now, sir, you've had Gandhi, My Father, and which won many national awards. Anil Kapoor, I think he was extremely excited about the film. He just promoted it like anything. Why is it that you've not done too many films post that? You've had like a Dekh Tamasha Dekh after that, but you could have done, I think, almost any number of films post that.
I have to have a reason to do work. That why am I doing it? The first question is that, is this work that I'm doing, is it going to make a difference to me, first of all?
Right.
Is it going to make a difference to the people watching it?
Sure.
I haven't come around to do work which I just do it. So that is my problem. And so after Gandhi, My Father, I wanted to do Dekh Tamasha Dekh. And it got delayed. And till Dekh Tamasha Dekh happened, I just could not think of doing any other film.
Right.
But I was very happy doing theatre. So I'm driven by the reason to do the work, and not because I feel, well, okay, now I have enough films, I can use my name or use my craft, my whatever I have, and just make films just like that. So I think that, I was a bit of a misfit there to be able to do those kind of films that don't mean much to me. But because I get so much satisfaction in theatre, that I get pulled into doing theatre, and that's the reason I actually, there's no real, I haven't really thought about it, but I just got driven into something which was very, very, powerful for me. So I went doing more theatre rather than doing film. Dekh Tamasha Dekh happened. Didn't do that well, but it's still a work I'm extremely proud about. So the two films that I have done, I'm very proud about them. And those two films are not films that will get over by the weekend. They will remain with us for perhaps a very, very long time to come, because they are films that tell us about who we are as a nation.
Sure.
They tell us about, about Gandhi and his personal life. And Dekh Tamasha tells you about the kind of country that we have become. And that will always remain with us. So I think perhaps that's what drives me. Work that is not just for its time, but perhaps for all times to come.
Great. And now, so obviously, when you're talking about Gandhi, my father, and you're talking about Dekh Tamasha Dekh as well, you're talking about the way that the country has progressed and the way the country was when you're talking about Gandhi. Now, when Mughal-E-Azam released and the sort of mammoth response the movie got was something that I think is unprecedented. I still remember people keep on talking about it because Golcha cinema ke bahar itni lambi line lagti thi, and it used to be like there for forever. When you're making a play now, when you're just releasing Mughal-E-Azam now, and in the recent past we've had murmurs that Akbar Road ko Delhi mein naam change kar dena chahiye, and maybe Akbar was not the most best of rulers and stuff like that. Now if we go to history, he's one of the most secular figures that India has ever had in its entire history, in terms of Deen-e-Ilahi and all sorts of other things which are associated with Akbar. Do you feel that you're coming up with a play in different times, and there can be people who may be having, because these days people come up with all sorts of weird notions these days. So you really don't know.
You see, to me, three people define the idea of India. One is Ashoka, and if you see, Ashok happens to be everywhere with us, our Ashok Chakra. Ashok inspires the idea of India, because Ashok decides that non-violence is not the way to rule. And he brings in an idea of non-violence. He understands that violence is not the way. He brings in non-violence. He brings in compassion as the guiding principles of a statecraft. So
especially
Ashok,
after what he was.
After what he did, I think Kalinga War completely changes Ashok.
Correct.
But those are, of course, ideas, and so we have, as a country, paid respect to him. And we said Ashok is one who defined, in many ways, laid the foundation. If you look at Ashok edicts all over the country, because he used to put those edicts on stone. So they are all preserved, and so wonderfully. So though Ashok is no more, what he believed should be the way a ruler should rule. And so they were a set of principles of an idea of India. He did that. The second one is Akbar, because a man who is uneducated, he's unlettered, he doesn't know anything, and then decides to bring in the idea of Deen-e-Ilahi. He used to sit and even listen to Mahabharata. He used to sit and listen to Ramayana. He used to ask people from all religions to come and recite to hear their religious ideas and their text, and he was absorbing all that. And I think he finally understood is that there is a common humanity that goes across. So there is a common humanity in religion which makes those religions extremely powerful. And he wanted a synthesis of all the humanity in all the religion, and then was experimenting with Deen-e-Ilahi. To experiment in Deen-e-Ilahi is in the 16th century, is far, far ahead of its time. He was an absolute monarch. He could have done whatever he wanted. He is the one who removed jizya tax. That was a tax that was had to be paid by a non-Muslim. And he said, nothing doing. Everybody is equal. He had so many people in his court who were non-Muslims.
Absolutely.
Okay, so a man who much, maybe it's part of his statecraft, maybe he did it because he understood that's the only way to go, but then he understood very, very early that look, the only way this country can be ruled is including and not excluding everybody.
Bilkul.
This country cannot be ruled by one majoritarian view. It cannot be done that. And
Sure.
we've just seen across Pakistan is that it tried to define itself as a supremacist majoritarian view of
Absolutely.
religion.
Absolutely.
And it is gone exactly in the direction that everybody will go.
Absolutely.
So I think when we look at ourselves, we should take inspiration from Ashok, it should take inspiration from Akbar, and it should take inspiration from Mahatma Gandhi.
Absolutely.
These are the three people who define the idea of India. We would be very sad if we take our inspiration from Pakistan. So I think what happens is in competitive...
Many people are doing that these days. Many people are doing that.
So I think in
उन्होंने ऐसा किया तो हम भी ऐसा करेंगे.
yeah, so I think the competition should be about the higher values and not about the baser instincts.
क्या बात.
So I think we are saying that my vahiyat is better than your vahiyat.
Absolutely.
Vahiyat is not the competition.
Absolutely.
Ugliness is not the competition. Competition of civilizational values, and for which India is so rich and powerful. So I have the great opinion that all these aberrations, these small thinking, these small ideas which we trying to exaggerate, is not akin to the nature of the Indian civilization. It cannot tolerate this for.
It won't
we
sustain.
have very little. We don't have long tolerance for intolerance. Yeah, I don't think so. This
Very well
country,
said. Very
country
well said.
has that. So I think all these little things about Akbar being this and Akbar being that, I think these three people in many ways actually tell you what this country is. You need to read them, you need to see how they worked, how they did, and in many ways dedicated their entire life to that. And please understand that for Akbar, with the kind of the religious order that was there around, for him to even think of Deen-e-Ilahi would be blasphemy. But the man did it. And I think it also tells you sometimes...
Absolutely. And that too like say so many years back.
Yeah, sometimes...
आज के time में बात करना मुश्किल है and he did
sometimes
that
it
so
gives
many
you to understand that highly educated people could be emotionally illiterate.
Absolutely.
And I think Akbar may be an illiterate man, but he was emotionally a very big man.
Absolutely.
And that's where he was able to encompass everybody.
Absolutely. In fact, Javed Akhtar Saab has said, I think very, very lucidly that we are seeing this entire observation in India these days that we all understand that Pakistan in many ways has failed as the entire ideology and the idea. But why is it that so many people, so many Indians, they are trying to imitate Pakistan? के बजाय उनको अपने तरह बनाने के हम उनकी तरह बनने की कोशिश क्यों कर रहे हैं? Which is something which is
that's what I'm saying, that we cannot, in fact that should be a very good example for us to understand that any supremacist idea of any religion,
Right.
that I am the best and we are the best, and defining yourself through just one religious ideas would eventually lead to where it has gone. So I think that, and I'm talking as a state, not necessarily the people.
Absolutely.
Because the people,
Absolutely.
they are perhaps, they are victims of the kind of political system that they have inherited. It's not the people, but it's the political system. And I think we have to take our inspiration from our own civilizational values. And we have huge, and their roots are very, very strong.
No, absolutely.
And including everybody, and being, we celebrate diversity, and that is our strength.
Absolutely.
We should not try and get everybody to one kind, because that would be a very sad day for this country.
No, absolutely. And when we're talking about the fact that Pakistan as a idea in terms of, obviously we're talking about the political and the military establishment, but at the same time when you see this entire resistance that we should boycott Pakistani artists, and it's like, do you find it ridiculous when you talk about Faiz Ahmad Faiz or like a Ghulam Ali or say Pakistani actors, Indian actors have, Nasir Saab has worked in Pakistani films, or Om Puri has recently worked in Pakistani films.
Yeah.
So do you find that, like say, as far as at the level of ideas, at the level of intellectual, if you just insulate yourself, do you think that that's a bad idea?
I think this kind of jingoism, I will ban this, I'll ban that. It's not just about Pakistan. We seem to be now wanting to ban everything.
Exactly.
Forget about the Pakistani actor. I think this is only temporary, because what happens on the political level, it gets reflected on the ground. Now these are a few voices which have always been there, because this is a political constituency, you have to understand.
Sure.
Political constituency is not necessarily a huge belief. But you need to pander to them because you've got your constituency which will get all hecked up and you need all that. But we seem to be coming to a space that we need like to ban. We don't like something, we want to ban it. And we don't think somebody is comfortable, we say this is sedition. I mean, that's really becoming a bit of a joke and ridiculous. You have to understand that what do you want to ban for what? So this has become a new thing. And I think it also is the fact that today anybody who wants to, get themselves important, this is the best thing to do.
Absolutely.
And also because the social media and the internet is so attracted to negative.
Absolutely.
So a positive is not going to get you any traction. Negative gets you a lot of traction.
Absolutely.
Somebody says, I'm banning you all jumping around. Somebody says, no, he's acting in it and we are fine and we'll include them. People are not interested.
Yeah,
so
true.
I think it's very complex. But at the face of it, I believe is that, we are a very large country with a very large heart. And I think, yes, we have to be very clear about certain things, is that we have absolutely no tolerance with the kind of nonsense that comes across the border as long as terrorism is concerned. There
Sure.
can be no compromise on that, and
Absolutely.
there can be no dualism, because terrorists, of course, have no religion.
Absolutely.
They are about inhumanity, and all those who are side of humanity have to face this idea with collective strength and with collective commitment. But those are different things. But when it comes to art, it's like, people had trouble with each other, but they come to Olympics and then compete with each other. I think arts is one area in which that's one thing we should understand, that it just does not belong to nation, it belongs to humanity.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It can't
And
have boundaries.
we cannot. Once you start
can't
doing
have
that,
boundaries.
we actually even pull away the people who, actually you're saying that either it is extreme or nothing else in between. But most of the people live in the zone of what is called moderation. Most of them are right there in the center. But you want to pull them away and say, look, it is this or no more. I think those instincts should be curbed. We cannot be looked at petty, and I think...
No, absolutely.
Yeah, we need to be far more, gracious. I said very clear on certain things, but at the same time, extremely gracious, and particularly in terms of arts and culture. We got to be
No, absolutely. In fact, I'm reading this biography of Bhagat Singh right now by Kuldeep Nair, and this entire sequence when Bhagat Singh kills Saunders and he's just running. So Faiz Ahmad happens to see him running. So now, how do you curb this thing? That one is an icon of Indian, freedom movement, and he's becoming bigger by the day. And then you have like a Faiz Ahmad Faiz, who's a revolutionary poet, and who's written a lot about things, but you can't segregate कि उन्होंने सिर्फ पाकिस्तान के लिखा होगा. That's you can't be applying that on India, for example.
But
So
he
it's
was
like,
seeing that was still one. We're talking about
it was
the
still one
20s.
country.
We are still
and
one
Faisalabad, in
country.
fact, they celebrated his birthday yesterday.
That's right. So
They
I
celebrated
think
birthdays.
I think there's also one thing we are also mistaking, that at one time this belongs to the same culture.
Right.
Yeah, all the three of them, because if you look at it today, when a Punjabi meets a Punjabi from Pakistan, it's a completely different thing. Because it also tells you is that more than religion, culture binds. To believe that because of religion, all the Muslims of the world will come together, I think it's a myth.
Absolutely.
We are more bound culturally, like when you go to Bangladesh, Rabindranath Tagore is celebrated.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
celebrated with Nazrul Islam. Both the poets are equally celebrated because it is part of the heritage.
Absolutely.
It's a cultural heritage we have. Religion has perhaps
Saurav
come
Ganguly
much
is hugely
later.
popular in Bangladesh.
That's right.
He's
So
hugely popular.
I think religion perhaps comes a much later.
Sure.
Culture precedes everything else. But culture is a very long and continuous process. Yeah.
Feroz, finally, could you tell me a few of your influences, be it as a writer, be it as a theatre person, be it as a film person, who have been your inspirations?
I think my inspiration is life.
Okay.
Yeah, and there are so many people there in life. If you ask me in theatre, my great influence is Ratan Thiam. He's from Manipur. I think his theatre makes India very proud.
Wow.
He's one of the finest theatre. His play Chakravyu and the trilogy of Mahabharata is the finest piece of theatre I have seen, and actually it has inspired me to say that there is something you can do in theatre you can't do anywhere else. Then Peter Brook, I've never seen his production. I saw Mahabharata later on as a television version. His ideas of theatre has hugely inspired me. Shafi Namdar, who's passed away,
Okay.
was we were very, very close. So there's a lot that I have, learned from him. Shafi Namdar, who I miss terribly, he was almost like my elder brother, and we shared a lot of things, and I was very inspired by the kind of a person he was in theatre. He was a great force in theatre. My director, Mahindra Joshi, who again passed away. But to me, the biggest influence in my life in theatre has been Jennifer Kapoor.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it is
Shashi Kapoor's wife
after
and a
meeting
wonderful
Jennifer
actress
Kapoor,
herself.
because
Jennifer Kendall for
Kendall.
her father was a tremendous theatre person as
Jeffrey
well.
Kendall, and they're very inspiring. But Jennifer, because I spent a lot of time with her, because after the Prithvi Theatre was done,
Ji.
I used to meet her very often, and that's why we started the Prithvi Festival together.
Oh.
So I'm the first festival director of Prithvi. The Prithvi Festival started
Okay.
with me, Jennifer Kapoor, and Akash Khurara and some. But Jennifer was the moving spirit, and it is meeting her actually made me take a decision that I should do theatre. And there is something in theatre that may be more rewarding than anything else. I know that I may not be very rich in theatre, and I thought that's not going to happen. But what I'll get from theatre in life may perhaps be worth a life living. And she was the example of that. And it was not she was giving me any lectures, it's just by being with her.
Right.
And we did a fabulous festival together. And she continues to remain very quietly and silently, always at the back of my heart. I mean, very deep in my heart and the back of my mind. So, and that's why my association with Prithvi remains as strong as and as emotional as it has been since the time I interacted with her. So this is in many ways my influence in theatre.
Fantastic. So, Feroz, lovely talking to you, and looking forward to watching Mughal-E-Azam on stage very soon. And it's been like a wonderful time spent with you, and thank you very much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful talking to you.
Thank you, sir. That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.